Greetings everyone. Today I'm going to bring a video on hand conditioning. Why? Well, karate is karate, empty hand. Sosai used to say it's not kara-ashi, it's karate. So we have to know how to condition our hands. And we have to know how to use our hands without the protection of wraps and gloves and so on. We can use those in certain sport type karate, but the reality is real karate is about bare hand fighting. So we need to develop a strong fist, a strong support chain through our body. So that means not only good technique, but also good posture and also a strong body so that we can withstand the forces that the body can make. Now, even though we think of karate as the seiken, the conditioning is not just about the seiken. It's not about having big black knuckles. That conditioning is a side benefit, a side effect of training. The most important thing to remember about Makiwara training is to strengthen the hand. So that means we have to thicken the bone, we have to harden the tissue so that when we squeeze our fist tightly, we squeeze all the blood out, there's no movement. A good strong fist means you won't be able to bend your wrist, and when you hit, nothing gives. And that's what hand conditioning is all about. Traditionally, Makiwara training is all about, Makiwara means the rice straw, wraps and bales of rice straw. That's really good if you get a chance to use that. One of the main reasons, from my experience, that the Makiwara is good is when you hit it very hard repetitively, the friction starts to heat up. Well, I know when I use my bags here and we do Makiwara, the heat starts to build up. And quite often in the past when we've used, say, Hessian bags, which are very good, we had a bucket of water on the side and we'd throw water on it to cool it down. So you literally, the friction does build up the heat, but the Makiwara stays cool, and that's one of the really, really good benefits of it. But not everyone has access to rice straw, so what we've done is made our own bag. This is a homemade bag filled with sand inside a Hessian bag, and we've just attached it here. So there's a little bit of give, and we also have one lower down for the shin, but we don't need to worry about that for now. We'll worry about that on another day. Also, what we use is trees, certain types of trees. In Japan, Sosai used to use Cryptomeria cedar, which has a nice solid core but a soft outer. In Australia, we use the Melaleuca tree, or the paperbark tree, which also is very soft on the outside but very hard on the inside, so it gives you that little bit of movement so you don't hurt your hand. Okay, now, the main important things, when we're strengthening the hand, we have 4 surfaces. We have here, 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 and here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to strengthen all 4 of those surfaces. It's not just about the punch. In fact, I would go so far as to say that the punch is the least important part of hand conditioning. But people mistake it because that's the technique that you're using with your conditioned hand. But the reality is, to strengthen the hand, we want to do it in different ways. So the first way is shote. We hit here, shote, there, like so. And then we go to haito, or ridge hand. Once again, swinging. You'll notice too that if you get the technique incorrect, the weakness will show itself. If you've got your elbow wrong, you'll tweak your elbow. If you have your shoulder wrong, you tweak your elbow. That's why you start with a very small volume and start soft. So you might start 5 of each, literally 5 of each, and 5 of the punch. Doesn't sound like much, but wake up the next morning and you'll discover if you've made mistakes. Okay, so we go shote, haito. Then we go uraken. Okay, uraken, back fist, like that. Like that, and then we go shito, or knife hand. One important thing about knife hand is don't have your fingertips together like that. Over the years, doing a lot of that means I've actually got a little bit of arthritis in this finger, because what happens is when you hit under power, the little finger vibrates into this knuckle and you get bruises here. So if you curl your fingers slightly like that, when you hit, the movement of the little finger doesn't crash into the other fingers. Okay, so knife hand, like that. Then you finish off with seiken. Now, the important thing with seiken is, Sosai said that 90% of all problems can be related to excessive tension in the shoulder. If you have that problem, the sandbag or the hand conditioning will expose it, because what will happen is, in the process of trying to maybe protect your hand, you kind of pick your shoulder up a little bit. You lose the tension. So one of the beautiful things about Makiwara, sandbag, hand conditioning is that when you have conditioned your hand in these ways, then what you do is the punching, the seiken conditioning is more about having your balance correct, getting your weight in the right place, and making sure that your shoulder and everything is relaxed. Also, I said the power comes from the feet through the hara in the lower gut, through the waki, especially the latissimus dorsi, which pulls the arms in. So it means you don't want to lift the elbow, and you relax the shoulder, the power then through the elbow and out the wrist. So it means when you hit the Makiwara, careful you don't excessively tension the shoulder. You want to relax the shoulder and get the power into the correct leg. It's not a race. There's no point of standing here doing this. All that does is kind of builds up funny looking knuckles, which is completely useless for really power punching. Okay? You want to do that, you put gloves on and work the bag, and that'll work your whole technique. For this one, to get the conditioning right, you want to expose the weaknesses. So that means your technique has to be perfect from the foot through the tanden, the hara, the waki, shoulder, elbow, fist. Now, to the first few, always a little bit of tension because you're getting a feel of it. Then once you start to relax and get the push-pull, the hikite, combined with the punch-out, then you start to feel the relaxation come through the lat, come through the waki.
Makiwara. This is my tambourine mountain Makiwara, and I think it's actually, I can't tell what it is, but I think it's like a cedar tree of some sort. But anyway, the bark is nice and soft, so it doesn't hurt my hand too much. Okay, so here we go.
And you keep this up, like I said, start off with maybe 5 shote, 5 haito reach hand, 5 uraken, 5 shuto, and 5 punches. Then build up to perhaps 10 of each, but stick to 5 punches. Then 15, then 20. Always let the number of punches be a little less than everything else. Build up eventually to maybe 100 of each. Build up over a year or so, 100 of each. If you do that, I promise that will cover all the hand conditioning you ever need, because it covers and strengthens the whole hand. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you got something out of it. Us.